the bell icon on the YouTube app to never miss a video from SnG Comedy. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of The Big Question with SnG Comedy. I'm Karan.
I'm Adar.
I'm Neville.
I'm Pathak.
And we're missing Varun.
Yes.
He's supposed
We're not. He's not here. I don't know if you're missing him.
He's here in spirit and smell.
Except I don't know if in this
sense.
topic we want Varun.
Exactly. Because today's topic is books or movies.
No, we have to frame it like a question.
It is books or
Movies?
Movies? I don't know.
So I'm a fan of movies because I don't have patience to read through hundreds of pages of detail. Because I think with books, they will describe the color of the wall and the button and the threading that
It's
was
called
used.
imagination.
I get it. It's great. It does nothing for the plot. It does do nothing for the story.
It does do stuff.
Listen. That one, the whole like Game of Thrones.
Okay, how
for
many
example.
books have you read?
Quite a few actually.
Okay, so
Quite a few.
no. Karan and I actually read, and Kautuk and Neville think they read more than us, except that Karan and I actually watch a lot more movies. I guess.
No. I think all of us watch and read equally.
Yeah.
I think maybe Kautuk reads probably the most amongst us.
Yeah.
Just because he's the biggest nerd in the group.
That's not true. Fucker, I read, yeah? I read almost as much as Kautuk. In fact, I read more.
Dude, you are a huge nerd.
Wow.
Actually,
Okay. Your book reading dicks are very big. Both
I know. Oh my god.
Wow. What kind of
That's
dick
my
measuring is
book
this?
reading
मैंने
dick,
तेरे से ज़्यादा
My
books
book
पढ़ा है
reading dick.
गांडू.
So no, let's come on, you guys.
thin.
I want to
Yeah,
hear.
it's
I
like
want to
a
hear the argument you guys
bookmark.
have on books. Why books are better than movies? I want to hear your
Okay, so here's my
bolo.
thing on it's not a versus first of all. Now I'll tell
That's the title of this fucking episode.
Okay, wait, calm your tits, bro. Now, for example, you take The Martian, okay, and I'm going to take a populist movie and a populist book. You take The Martian. The book is so much funnier and so much better, and it has everything to do with the plot. They don't sit and describe the terrain of Mars some 50 times.
I get it. The book is funny. I saw The Martian in 3D and I was blown away by it.
Yeah,
I thought he
I
was
had fun.
on Mars. It was the way they had executed that movie.
Which is great, but the story was about that one guy and his plight and his existential crisis, and more importantly, it was damn funny. Like if you read the book,
What?
it is hilarious.
Okay, one more
which
thing,
you did
sure.
laugh
One
throughout
minute,
the
one
movie.
minute.
I laughed.
Like at 3 points.
Yeah, I have 3
Wait,
points.
I'll tell you another thing.
Every page on page you laugh, dude.
1 minute. Neville, one more point about The Martian. We can take The Martian as an example. The one big difference between books and movies, right? What makes a book and a movie a movie? Books, it serves the
Are
medium.
made of paper.
No. It
Achha.
serves. Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out.
Okay. No, my point was that when a book is a book because it helps you. It serves a medium when you're talking about the interior monologue of a character. So when you talk about The Martian, right? So there's a lot
but
of
then
stuff.
you've got Morgan Freeman for that in movies. Billy was a good kid.
That's a fair point. It's more about like even there, right? Like when you're an interior monologue is way more complex than stuff that you're just saying. Okay, so a voiceover is still not going to do justice to what you're thinking internally, and that's what books are amazing at. Okay, movies are about the spectacle, so all the activities that are there in the book,
Like
will
the
come out-
Avengers book
Yeah.
would be shit, right? Like
Because-
the comic book is great, but the book...
What is
The inner monologue of the Hulk. Oh my god.
No.
But does Hulk get horny? I want to know. Like his inner monologue, he probably gets horny when he looks at girls.
Yeah,
Especially
most-
Scarlet.
Huh? Yeah, exactly, right?
Like who wouldn't?
Yeah, exactly. But
Who
yeah.
wouldn't?
Scarlet.
Exactly. And you know what? That's the thing. Scarlett, great example. Scarlett Johansson. If there was a book in Avengers, they would describe her. But in the movie, I get to see her. I mean, come on, movie.
But if
over
you're-
books
if you're
then.
imagining-
Yeah, but you're
Imagination-
still talking about Avengers. I'm talking about other... Like for example...
No. Okay, so book is a reason why shit like Twilight is a success. Because so I actually read that book in about 6 hours. And
6 Jupiter hours?
yes, 6 Jupiter hours.
45 days.
No, it was seriously. So I was literally, so every time I would see he was so beautiful, I would skip about 50 pages.
No,
And
the
she's
question
still
is why
describing
didn't
him.
you skip the book? You're a man. What is
No,
the
no. As any obvious reason, I wanted to impress someone.
Ah,
What
And
were
the
you
thing
impressing
was-
a 12-year-old?
Yeah, and I realized that this
Like,
woman is
really?
pretty dumb. Acha, nahi, but the thing is, when you write perfect so many times on a fucking page.
We are not talking about good
But
books
that's-
versus good movies.
No, that's a bad book.
No,
I
but,
mean,
but the thing is,
that's a bad
that's what we're talking about imagination. When you write perfect, and that's
But you're taking a bad example of a book. Take a good
Yeah,
book.
like,
I'll tell you what.
yeah, but-
I'm saying take Schindler's List. Okay, Schindler's List, great book. Great movie, really funny. I know, guys. I know.
The book
where
is
It's not funny. It's not
way
funny at all.
funnier.
Not funny at all. Schindler's List is a very serious movie. Lots
It's
of
a
people
fucking
died.
serious shit, and I don't know why.
Unless you're looking at it from the point of view of.
It's
By the way, the reason I was
we
laughing
don't
is
mean to demean.
the reason I was laughing is
Schindler's
because Louis C.K. does a bit, and please watch this bit.
Yes.
the girl auditioning.
There's a scene where a girl tells the Jews who are going to the camp, to the gas chambers, she yells at them, goes, "Goodbye, Jews! Goodbye, Jews!" And Louis C.K.'s bit is like, I wish I could see the audition where all the girls are coming in and saying the same line.
Little 7-year-old girls.
7-8-year-old girls just saying goodbye Jews constantly in an audition tape.
Goodbye,
Again,
Jews.
why movies are better? Because this would only happen for a movie.
Yes.
Continue.
So, okay, I the Lord of the Rings. Okay, I read the book before I watched the movie, and now there was stuff like, and that's why Lord of the Rings ended up being such a great movie. But there were details in Lord of the Rings, which is like this, that, the button, the clothes, the bloody, the leaves of Lorraine, and so all those little things, but it comes out as one establishing shot.
I agree.
And it is in perfect detail.
But
That's what it
that's
takes
the difference
1
of
second.
that's the difference of the medium, right?
Yeah.
Because for the book to do that thing, like that's a different
That
medium.
epic landscape.
Yeah.
It
So
takes to go
technically,
into
they
that.
couldn't have done that without the book being there as
Okay,
a reference.
I'll tell you another thing. Okay, here's something it's a game I play with myself.
Oh no!
Oh no, Kato.
This is not the kind of show.
Worst way to
This is
start
not
a
the kind of show.
sentence.
I'm sorry, buddy. Listen, we have to have some fucking boundaries here, okay?
Yes.
Okay, now after we're done with the masturbation jokes,
We weren't talking about
we weren't talking about that.
We were talking about ass picking. Yeah, exactly.
You
We're
play
talking
some
about
really
masturbation.
shitty games.
okay, guys, 1 minute. So it's something like, so what I do is, if I see a film, okay, now, and if I really like it, okay, sometimes I what I do is, is there a book on this?
Yeah,
Okay,
3 Idiots
this-
and Chetan.
No, not that. I'll tell you a specific example. So I saw Cold Mountain, okay, and I loved the movie, and I didn't know that there was a book. But at the end of the movie, okay, I was like, this movie is so good that it has to be based on a book, and it was proved right. So it said based on this book, and the thing is that here's what I've always felt, that when you have a movie that's adapted from a book, it's always richer. It's always richer. The point is, when you make a movie, right? Like the script writers get 6 months to make it. Okay, 6 months to write the script. Yeah, and it's not as complex as a person who spent 5 years.
Can I put a caveat on that? I agree with what you're saying. I agree, but here's the thing. So, for example, writers today are sitting with scripts for 4-5 years. Let's look at a script like Inception. All right, that he sat with for 20 years.
Yeah.
he got the idea, and a lot of writers today, like Breaking Bad, the writers, they came up with the idea.
That's cinematic. Yeah, it's novelistic.
No, but all of
Yeah, yeah.
Tarantino. Look at Tarantino.
Correct.
Tarantino is the best example. I
They're
think.
not books, right? Giving.
But I agree with these
No,
guys. Writers really
you're-
spend a lot of time on hard work. Like Chetan Bhagat is like, he deserves.
I like, why I knew Adar was going to do a joke? Because he started smiling before he said the premise. He was like, guys, wait, I want to crack a joke. And
You
then
know what?
Chetan Bhagat.
I have to say, I'm very proud of you guys. We've been talking about at least 10-12 minutes and nobody has said Chetan Bhagat till now. I'm very proud of you guys. Fuck you for bringing that fucker up. See, Chetan Bhagat does not write books. He writes books that he hopes to be movies. Okay? It's a different purpose. There's an ulterior motive for that
No,
guy.
so I'll tell you. Now, for example, I want to take The Room. If you've seen The Room and read the book, okay, the book of The Room is told through the eyes of the boy.
Oh, 5-year-old.
Of the 5-year-old. The whole thing. In the movie, it's just and when you're reading that book, in chapter 2, 3, 4, you're still fucking wondering, what is this? Because things are so, like the sky is white, for example, or whatever.
Dude, I get it.
Which is amazing as a journey.
Game of Thrones is the perfect example for this. I didn't read the books. I saw the first season, 6 years ago. I love the show. And when what happens with Ned Stark and all of that, I was like, wow, it's a book also. I have to go back. And when I read the book, I was mesmerized by the writing because it was all inner monologues. It was all done through
Correct.
POVs, right?
That's my
So
point.
I got to know when Ned was in jail and he was awaiting his sentence.
What he felt,
What he
yeah.
felt. I got to feel that. And it really connected me with the show even better. But at the same time, I feel like I wouldn't have got there if it wasn't for the show. You know, and we today we have a problem in our society as people, and people you're in the early 20s, most people don't read.
Yeah.
I met this guy on the street, vendors, they sell books.
Yeah.
And I met this kid maybe about 8 months a year ago, and he asked me if I could get a ride. I was going to Bandra. He asked, "Can I get a ride?" And it's so random. I even gave him a ride. He's sitting there and he's looking at me. He's like, I've been doing this for 4 months. I haven't sold a book. And he was maybe 16 years old. And I was like, wow, nobody reads books anymore.
Another very cool thing that I found, I met this guy last night. Okay, this guy called Santosh Pandey. Okay, he sells second-hand books near Irla. He came to Bombay when he was 13. Okay, and selling second-hand books. And then one day, he decided, I'm going to write a book. And he spent like he spent like 4 months writing this book, okay, and the funny thing was that he used to go to a hotel and write at night, okay, from 1 to 4, and his wife thought he was having an affair. She's like, "ये 4 बजे को अंदर आ रहा है," you know. And so, but it was pretty cool. It's like the thing is कि as much as we think that people aren't reading, there's so many people and there's so much being read generally, like over many mediums, that we have enough readers. Like the problem is about popularity.
No,
I also think I think it's the publishing industry in itself versus like other mediums of reading, right? Like other media, like people read on the Kindle, people read on digitally.
No, Kindle made reading like a fun thing again. Okay, wait, I had something pop my head, and I have to ask you guys: books versus movies, but under the sub subject of erotica. Now, tell me, would you guys rather read
books?
Are you fucking
Okay,
jack
one
off to a
minute.
book?
I would not do a book, but I would jack off to a Playboy article easily. That was written well.
but-
A good erotic story is fucking amazing because it works your brain.
Also,
That
yeah,
fast, huh?
that's another.
It's amazing.
That's another thing, right? So it's a difference between active mediums and passive mediums, right? So when you're watching a movie, you're sitting there and just watching.
Don't
stuff.
fucking science my shagging, bastard.
No, but it's true.
Okay.
It's a compliment to your imagination.
Okay, thank you.
So when you're watching a movie, right, you're just sitting and watching it, and like the images are telling you exactly what's happening. In a book, when you're reading it, you have to actively supply everything, and the beauty of that is that you can make up whatever you want.
But
you
it
know?
seems like less stress to me, right?
It does seem
Let's
like
say
less
you're
stress,
long day at
but
work,
What
you-
is more enriching?
Huh?
What is more enriching?
Like I'm saying Ned Stark's monologue in your own case.
Huh.
Right? Like you would have never felt that had you not read the book.
I agree. But to get to that monologue, I would
He
have
had to
not.
go through the
I had
show.
to go see the show.
No, but that's
I had
how
to
you discovered the book. That's not the right example.
No. But
I'm saying-
I wouldn't
No,
have
the
got.
book is
I
great.
wouldn't. What I'm saying is, books are not appealing anymore.
Yeah.
I would have not read the book. If you had come and told me, dude, this is a great book, you should read Game of Thrones, I'm like, fuck it.
The
So
one thing.
I think is I never watched Game of Thrones until February this year. I have not seen, and I.
But you read the books?
Yeah, I went to the books because of the whole
pop culture, but
yeah,
that's
the whole
come
pop
on.
culture around
by that
the TV show.
by that logic, I mean Harry Potter in itself is that only. No, it was pop culture.
No man,
But
Harry Potter became pop culture way. The movies just followed. The
You
books
know,
became
precisely
so
my point.
huge.
You know
So
what
the
I
books
find-
became huge, right? I'm saying in certain cases the books
Yeah, but
become
but
huge.
because the books came huge, the movies become even bigger.
Okay, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book is P.G. Woodhouse. Water by P.G.
Oh.
Woodhouse.
What's your favorite book?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Great book. What's your favorite book?
J.D. Salinger.
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the
Also-
Rye, To Kill a Mockingbird, and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
What's it called? On the Road. Jack
On the
Kerouac.
Road, great book. Huh?
Oh.
Therefore, now going on.
Favorite adaptation.
Favorite adaptation.
Favorite? Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Game of Thrones, man. The series.
Like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Fucking look at the movie. It's fucking fuck the movie. Even the TV series is shit.
I have to say that the BBC, the old one,
Yeah.
actually was way better than the movie.
It was way better than the movie, but
Yeah.
it's still not the book.
No,
dude.
because it was.
Come on,
it was-
intergalactic gargle blaster. I mean, come on.
No, it's not.
Are you
it's not even
kidding me?
close. It's
The
not
book,
even close.
the book was a great satire. It was really difficult to
It
make
was
into a movie.
amazing.
It cannot be one
The
movie.
fucking prologue to the book is hilarious.
That's the thing. That's
I think mine would be Shawshank Redemption. Great book.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Shawshank's a great thing. So Shawshank Redemption, and I want to say, don't fucking kill me for this, but Devil Wears Prada. Hey, but what's your favorite adaptation?
my favorite adaptation. Lord of the Rings was great. I think Lord of the Rings was great. Has anyone read Jaws?
No, I've not read
The
it.
novel?
No.
No, I don't think the shark's internal monologue would be that.
To eat or not?
Here, I'll give you Edgar Wright.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Edgar Wright's movies, okay? Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, End of the World. They're not novels, right?
No.
But what movies?
Yeah, great movie.
I mean,
But nobody's saying that the original screenplays aside.
Yeah.
Of course, there are
No, no,
great
this is
original
where they
books.
come
Look at
together.
all 8 of
Yeah.
Tarantino's films.
like the best movies are as good as the best books. Like you could make that
given the
assumption.
amount of time we have today, let's say you want to go. See, again, movies
Dude,
movies are a social thing. Books are a personal thing. Books you read alone.
Correct.
Movies you go as a group.
Correct.
we
That's
all-
a good point. That's a good
and
point.
again, it's got
But-
isolation.
But
of,
I'll tell you
I
something
think,
else.
No, I don't think so. Like for example, it varies from person to person. So for example, if you read Walter Isaacson's the
Steve Jobs.
autobiography, the Steve Jobs, and you watch the movie, it's two completely different parables because it's two completely different media written in two completely different
also,
ways
there's an
with
actor
two completely different
and
points.
there's an actor with his flaws and whatever playing Steve
Yeah,
Jobs,
which is
versus
fine.
you imagining Steve Jobs because you've seen Steve Jobs on TV, right?
Also, like one of the coolest things was about say my favorite author, okay, P.G. Woodhouse. he's very hard to adapt.
The Jeeves and Wooster with Stephen Fry and
That's the thing.
Hugh Laurie is great.
No, 1 minute. So I'm coming to this from Stephen Fry. Okay, where he said that it's impossible to, like, we did a good job. We thought we did a fair job, but it was very hard because there's something that happens in Woodhouse that's between the dialogues and between the air between the book and the reader. That you can't translate.
Dude, I've been on a Churchgate Andheri train reading PG Woodhouse.
There
where
is
I'm
no
laughing.
air between the book and the guy. When you're on the
What I
Churchgate
do.
fast, there is
No,
no
guys,
air.
I'm laughing my ass off.
Okay, so we've stuck to fiction mostly this talk, but it goes beyond that. Now let's look at like info stuff. Not even that. I'm talking about like inconvenient truth. I think a book and stats and infographics can scare you into doing, but a movie like Inconvenient Truth with the kind of visuals they do, for example, Cosmos. We can all go to a textbook and
Yes.
study this stuff, but when Neil Tyson deGrasse is on the screen showing you the stuff, and in Cosmos is brilliant, by the way.
But that's
But
also because
Bill Bryson's short history of
Yeah,
nearly everything.
a brief
It's
history of
but again, it's a books versus film type of.
Yeah.
But
context.
brief history of nearly everything is
It depends on
described
how you-
really well.
Yeah.
No, but I'm in the book.
Yeah. Read the book. It's amazing.
It's
It's
damn
amazing, right? When it comes to screen and when that's adapted to screen, it takes it to the next level.
If you're saying, for example, like I was just thinking of this, in terms of say Neil deGrasse Tyson, okay, if you're trying to explain a nebula or explain the stars or whatever, like,
But that's fact. No.
that's what I'm saying. That's my
That's
point.
fact.
So
Yeah,
it always
you're not
helps.
going like, "Arey Nebula, abhi kya soch raha hoga?"
No, exactly. So
no.
it
But
helps.
it's not about
not
nebula.
that.
Kya soch raha hoga? I'm saying nebula has a shape, right?
It's very hard
So
to
you have to show
describe.
it.
It's very hard to
Yeah,
describe
you can
accurately.
show
It's very hard to
somebody
describe with words.
Yeah.
But visually to show something like that and have a 3D model representation puts it in
No, but
perspective.
really great. Like I'm saying, you look at any of Agatha Christie's books, right? Like you are with the character. You look at Stephen Fry. Read it. That book is mad. Dude.
Stephen King.
What
I
did
love
say?
that book.
Fry.
Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry.
Stephen King.
You know, speaking of Stephen King, Stranger Things. I just watched the show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, it's an homage to Stephen King and that genre. What? And
Damn.
it is mind blowing.
yeah.
Okay, maybe the ending isn't as spectacular as people
Oh,
expected.
fuck, okay,
but
no.
the first
No spoilers.
no spoilers, but the first 6-7 episodes are like super
Superb.
enticing.
I loved it. Yeah,
and
yeah.
again,
Yeah.
it is taking something that's existed. Like yes, it's in books, but it's taken to the next level on screen. It's taken to a level of entertainment. In 55 minutes, you've gone through an entire adventure. You've gone through the ups, the downs, the emotional roller coaster, and it's over. And you feel, the release when you finish a book.
Yeah.
You feel that when you finish that.
Good
Yeah, but-
writing is good writing.
Good
Like-
writing, yeah.
Like for
across the
example,
board.
Martin Scorsese's
no Sherlock,
movies.
dude. Like Sherlock
Sherlock
the
as
TV
well.
show. It's great.
Again, forget the Mind Palace. The Mind Palace that Sherlock has, the TV
Yeah.
show again. Visually amazing.
Holy
If
shit.
if I put it on paper,
It's still great, dude.
not as cool as you seeing it, man. Not, the way you show it.
No, I'm saying
The other
it
thing
totally
is
depends on-
Interstellar, the way he talks to his daughter,
Correct.
the movie, it has these are film medium that it takes it to the next level.
But that's the thing.
But-
Like when you play to the strengths of the film medium, it's
When you
never
play
going
to
to
the
come.
strength to the medium
Yeah,
of whatever medium
nothing
you
will
are.
be translatable.
Yeah, like you read Atlas Shrugged, you can't make that film into a movie. That book
They
into a
tried,
movie.
no?
Yeah, but
And they failed
Yeah.
because
They failed.
because of
like
it's
Atlas
the-
Shrugged, you can't do it.
You know, I'll tell you another.
I wanna-
The metaphor falls through.
By the way, those of you who don't read, have no interest in this topic. I know you probably haven't lasted this long.
Which is why Varun's not on this episode.
Yeah, That's the reason why. Because if Varun was here, this episode would have ended like a long time.
Who
ago.
is the better fuck off guy?
One minute. Guys.
The movies are better.
Ek second. There's one more very pertinent thing. I just saw this great video. Okay, it's about how Watchmen was the most unfilmable comic book for the
Yeah,
longest time.
yeah.
And Alan Moore said this amazing line. Okay, he's like, we wanted to make it the best comic book using the absolute extent of what a comic book can do. Because if it's written to be made into a movie, then it's just a movie that doesn't move. And I thought it was a great line, and that's what like when you
Like I think books do.
That's what
amazing,
Edgar Wright
man.
does with film.
yeah
Edgar
you
Wright
should
does
not
uses motion, sound, light for
But
the
Edgar
film.
Wright is amazing. No?
Yeah.
So Edgar Wright's direction technique is outstanding. Okay, just to close the episode, I'll tell you something honestly. If you've stuck through the episode, first of all, thank you. Second of all, if any of the things that we've mentioned, except for Chetan Bhagat, any of the things that we've mentioned, try catching a hold of these guys. Like take a look at Edgar Wright movies. Read
No,
his
let's
books,
let's
read
promise.
these books.
Never. Let's do something unusual here. Let's promise. If you guys have any questions on what we talked about, I promise you. Neville promises you. At least the both of us.
Hey.
And Kautuk and Adar, we will reply to your comment.
Yes.
We will lead you in the right direction to what the book is, what the author is, and what it's about.
Unless it's your comment is Salman rocks.
or your
Fuck
comment is Chutiya log 3 Idiots must picture tha. I agree. But that's not
and,
the point.
And we totally went way too intellectual on this episode, though.
But I think one of these episodes is fine.
Yeah, we'll be back to Chutagiri the next episode.
Let Varun come back.
Yeah, Varun comes back. This
And-
on.
Also, if
Thank you
have,
so much.
If you have recommendations, please put them down. I would like to read
Yes.
something that you have
Yes.
recommended.
We should do an episode on video games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Video games.
We should do an episode on video games.
Okay,
All
see you guys. Bye,
See you
bye, bye,
bye.
bye.
Thank you.
हाइव के पास there's a manhole. उसके अंदर से एक पेड़ का कटा हुआ ये निकला है.
हाँ, हमेशा.
जिसके ऊपर एक शिवसेना का टी-शर्ट है.
The Chai Pani app. You know what's more frustrating than government employees who don't do their job? Not knowing how much to bribe them.